So this is the second video for Math 60 section 3.3 on linear equations and intercepts. We're going to talk about using intercepts in order to graph an equation. We talked about creating tables and coming up with ordered pairs in order to graph lines. This is more specific than that. When we are asked to graph an equation just using the intercepts, there's very specific things that we need to do. To find the intercepts, to find the y-intercept of equations graph, replace the x with 0 and solve for y, and then just reverse for the x. So let me show you why that makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and draw some axes in here. Hopefully they're going to be okay. Let me put that guy in here. And there's my y-axis. Put my arrows on. Let me do some labels, x and y. Okay. When I graph this guy, where it crosses the x-axis, it's going to be, somewhere along there. It should make sense to you that where it crosses the x-axis, the y component has to be 0. If the y component is not 0, then it means I'm either up here someplace or I'm down here. So if it's crossing the x, then y is 0. If it's crossing the y-axis, then my x value has to be 0. There's no way it can be positive on the positive side or on the negative side and still cross the x-axis. So here's what we do when we're asked to go ahead and graph just using the intercepts. And you are going to be tested on this kind of a problem. So I've got my table set up. I'm going to put my equation in here. 2x minus y is equal to 8. And I think what I'm going to do, just to make my job a little bit easier, I think I'm going to replace that like we did in the previous section. I'm going to take my 2x minus y is equal to 8, and I'm going to solve for y. So I have negative y is equal to negative 2x plus 8. Y is equal to 2x minus 8. And that's the guy I'm going to use. It's going to make my job a lot easier. So I'll put that in there. Okay, so if I want to know what the x-intercept is, y has to be 0. If I want to know what the y-intercept is, x has to be 0. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use those two values to go ahead and do the graph, and then just to make sure everything lines up, I'm going to go ahead and pick one other point. So if I put in a 0 for y, 0 is equal to 2x minus 8, and now I solve for x. I'm going to put 8 on the other side, so I have 8 is equal to 2x, divide both sides by 2, and I get x is equal to 4. So I put 4 in here, and my ordered pair is 4, 0. If I put a 0 in for x, it's going to be y is equal to 2 times 0 minus 8. Y is equal to, well, 2 times 0 is 0, and minus 8 is just negative 8. So it's 0, negative 8. And I'm going to put in one more just to kind of check, and I think I'll use a 1 for x. So I'm going to have y is equal to 2 times 1 minus 8. Y is equal to, well, this is a positive 2, and a positive 2 minus 8 is a negative 6. And there's my ordered pair. So let's go ahead and graph these and see how it works. This is kind of concerning me right here because I have to be able to go down 8. I have to be able to go down 8. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase this, and I'm going to scoot it up a couple. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think I'm going to put it right. Maybe I'll just put it right there. Yeah. Let me take this out. If I had a bigger graph, wouldn't matter. So let me draw this line in. Put my arrows, and I'll label that x. So 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, negative 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And just to make sure that they line up, 1 and negative 6. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to use my little ruler here, a straight edge, And sure enough, they do line up quite nicely. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw my line in. And I'm going to label this with the original equation. 2x minus 8. 2x minus y is equal to 8. One of the other things I need to point out to you is special cases about horizontal and vertical lines. You need to specifically check this out in your text. When you're looking at an equation, you're going to be expected to be able to recognize whether the graph is a horizontal or a vertical line. So we're going to make sure that we talk about this when we're together next to see what you found when you reviewed the text. So this is your homework, and it is due at our next class meeting. And I hope this is working for you. Bye.